We have been around the internet for quite some time. We are internet grandmas.
And today we are going to go back to our origin story when Neopets roamed the internet, when I was custom coding my MySpace profile. No, I'm kidding. We're going back to like our blogging days, and we're going to talk about blogs versus YouTube versus TikTok.
Which one should you be starting in 2023? That's what we're going to be answering today from our 10 years, our decade-long experience.
So we're going to kick it off with the blog, the OG. We're going to take you through pros and cons of each one. But we're going to start here. Kick it off, Ellen.
Oh,
Why?
pressure.
Why?
Okay, well, the main thing about blogging is it's a platform you own. You have total control. There's no algorithms. You don't have to stay up to date with what TikTok is changing. It's your website. You 100% own it. It's not going to go anywhere because you have that control. And I think that's why blogging was pushed quite so heavily early in the internet, because everyone was like, oh, we don't know what's going to happen to YouTube. You need something that you own.
There was a social media platform called Vine, and there were a lot of people that were really big on there. And then one day Vine closed, and all those people had to find new platforms for their content. But if you have your own website, it's in your control. It only gets deleted when you stop paying to host it or something. So
when it comes to the cons of blogging though, there's definitely less exposure. And for us, that's one of the reasons why we stopped blogging, because we never really saw the growth take off. We kind of peaked out at 2,000 monthly unique visitors. And for us, it just didn't have the opportunities like YouTube, where we had videos that would go a little bit viral. We'd have new people discovering us every day. And that was much more probably exciting. Like, you probably shouldn't care about vanity metrics and subscribers and views, but if you're trying to build a business, you kind of have to care about that stuff.
another con, in my opinion, is it is a bit harder to monetize. Places like YouTube have AdSense built up, and they have customers that pay for ads, which you then get paid for. Whereas a blog, you kind of have to build that all yourself. If you're making products, it's a lot more work. If you're negotiating ads on your blog, I feel like it's a lot more manual, and making money is a lot harder, especially when you're smaller. I think if you're a big blog, you can sell a few ads for more money and it makes it more worthwhile. But especially at the level we got it to, it was definitely harder to monetize.
And I think it came down to like the cost per reward, like how much time we were putting into it and what we were getting out in terms of the results. Building up that audience to be able to make lots of money off your ads and your brand partnerships on a blog is challenging. It takes a lot of time. And we obviously had our blog and our YouTube channel at similar times, probably. We had a blog a couple of years earlier, and it just felt like we were trying to put same equal effort into both, and the YouTube results just went up way faster.
Another thing about blogging, another con, I feel like we keep saying con, I wanted to mention as well around comments and feedback. I feel like a lot of social media platforms these days are about engagement and talking to your audience and getting feedback. I feel like the commenting blog culture has really
Dried up.
just dried up a lot. Like, everyone would much rather like send comments on Instagram, YouTube, it's really set up for it, whereas a blog, it's just not really there anymore. So it kind of feels like you're sending this out into a void and you don't get much back compared to something like Instagram or TikTok or YouTube.
Another important thing to look at when you're deciding between these platforms this year is your why. Why do you want to start this? What is your motivation? For us, when we started the blog, like for me in particular, I wanted to practice my writing, I wanted to become a journalist, I wanted to improve my spelling, my grammar, all of that stuff. So for me, it made sense to start a blog because that was aligned with my goals and what I wanted. But if you're also someone who maybe hates filming videos of yourself, don't start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, with the MySpace code, you probably know I did like designing and coding, so I did enjoy that aspect of the blog, but I think we've grown a little bit, and I think we can move on now to our next platform, YouTube, which you're here watching us from today.
Yes, so let's talk about the pros of YouTube first. We've kind of already mentioned some. We love the search. The exposure you get from YouTube is amazing. All those people coming to YouTube searching for problems, you can be that video that pops up.
It's also a nice way to have some longer form video content. Places like Instagram and TikTok, it's quite short form. And I feel like here on YouTube, you can go into a bit more depth in certain topics, which I personally like as a viewer as well.
I feel like it really allows me to show my expertise. Like when I can make a really long video about social media management, people are like, wow, I've got to sign up for her course. She knows her stuff. Compared to like, don't compared to like an 8-second TikTok where they might be scrolling through super fast. I can really get them invested, show my authority in my niche. Another pro for YouTube is the software, the support, and the analytics. We love YouTube analytics. There's so much data for nerdy people like us with your content creation. And when you compare that to other platforms, they have really hit it out of the park. And I think a lot of it does come back down to, you know, YouTube, Google, they have a really big office. They've got some really smart people who are constantly evolving and developing the YouTube website, the apps, and everything like that. So compared to a blog, when it's just you, maybe coding, and maybe you've got a blog host that does reporting, it still for me doesn't quite compare. And I think maybe using or creating video content actually gives you more of a data point. You can see what point people watch in the video, what point they jump out, when they exit, what's the most engaging part of the video, audience retention, all of that kind of stuff as well.
YouTube as well has a whole lot of help articles and support and other people making videos about how to do YouTube. And maybe it's because the internet's changed since we started a blog, but we're flying a little bit less blind than when we started a blog, and we're kind of like trying to figure out how to do everything ourselves when it's all on your own website versus there's all these help articles and recommendations and how to be a better YouTuber. There's all these great resources out there.
I promise we're not being paid by YouTube to make this video, but one last pro. We really love how it creates this evergreen content machine. If you've never heard of the word evergreen, it basically means something that keeps growing and keeps going behind the scenes. So for us, we haven't uploaded that many videos towards the end of 2022. We took a bit of a break and we were still getting views, we were still getting new subscribers. And some of our most popular videos we made like 6 years ago, which is hilarious. It's still churning away.
My hair, do I need to cut it again?
Yeah.
Even though we love YouTube, we do have some cons. Sorry, YouTube. I've found that YouTube is definitely, for most users and creators on the platform, a bit of a long game. You do have to invest your time and upload many videos compared to something like TikTok, where you can go viral very, very quickly.
Some people go viral after one video.
Yeah, and it does still happen on YouTube, but I think most creators won't. And maybe that is also the case on TikTok, but it just feels like YouTube, you have to really be in it for a long time.
Even us, for example, we've been relaunching our YouTube channel for 2023 and we have like a 6-month milestone. Like we are committed for 6 months posting twice a week before we even start analyzing our data and sort of reassessing. It really is a long game and you have to be committed if you want to see those results.
YouTube also has a highest expectation around quality for its videos. Something like TikTok, people just have the most terrible video quality. I'm sorry, there's some people that do it. YouTube, I feel like there's definitely an expectation for higher quality sound, higher quality video footage, and like backgrounds,
flying graphics. I think there's that barrier for the entry point. TikTok, you could start today whatever phone you have. With YouTube, I might be like, you might need a better phone, you might need that microphone or a light or a good filming backdrop, some kind of setup. And I feel like that's something to consider.
We kind of have to talk about it. The hate comments.
The hate comments.
My hair cutting video, if you've seen it, everyone was quite mad about the scissors I was using. But hey, it made it go well with the algorithm. It's now our most watched video. But there were a few comments that at first I was like, oh.
And we've had some really random comments about our appearances. And we've had some creepy men commenting on our videos.
Yeah, so it's like a con to the pro of exposure, I guess.
Yeah, you definitely have to develop like a thicker skin if you want to be on one of these platforms.
Speaking of hate comments, shall we move to TikTok?
Where there's even more hate comments. Have we put you off yet?
Shall we start with the pros?
Yeah, let's talk good things first.
We'll start with some good.
Obviously, exposure, again, is a huge thing, even more so on TikTok than YouTube. The viral views are crazy. I'm actually really enjoying it at the moment as a business owner, social media manager. It's just fun creating content there and knowing like you could get 200 views or you could get 200,000. I like that it has that uncapped potential to go viral. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. It's about the content and the value of that specific video. Like, how good is that video? It disregards your previous videos or your follow account.
And TikTok's definitely a lot more fun, and I feel like I have a lot of fun as a creator making silly videos about being a marshmallow in my jacket.
I want to be a marshmallow.
And I think that's also an important thing to consider when choosing between these platforms. What actually gets you excited? What are you going to have fun doing? Because coming from people who have been up and down all over the place on the internet for 10 years, the thing that does keep you inspired is having a topic, a niche, but also a method, a platform that you are passionate about.
And you can have fun on.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice having something shorter to put up compared to YouTube, where they tend to be longer. There's a lot more time investment in a single video.
Think about today, even getting all of our gear here, setting up the camera, the light, the microphone, syncing it all up, and it's a lot versus we could film a TikTok in 10 seconds.
TikTok, yeah, you can just film it, and also the editing's quick. You can usually do it in the app. You're not doing the level of different editing and graphics most of the time, though I know you've spent a lot of time editing.
Yeah, some of
TikTok.
mine take a lot of time. My big con around TikTok is the value of your followers. I would rather have 100,000 followers on YouTube than 100,000 followers on TikTok. For YouTube, I feel like you get this beautiful community and they watch all your videos and they're really dedicated to your content. With TikTok, I feel like it's a bit more like wishy-washy. Like they're not as invested. They're not going to see all your videos, essentially.
I think it's a little bit to do with how the app is structured. If you think about YouTube, you have your like explore page, but then you also, my automatic reaction is to go to my subscriptions. What is the people I want to follow? What are they posting? Whereas I feel like the following, like finding your followed people's videos on TikTok, it's not as natural. You just want to open and like scroll.
Yeah, you just
And
want to go on the For You page and find weird random videos.
Random videos about cats. You kind of have to train it to show you the stuff you want to follow, and so I feel like it doesn't make following as easy as something like YouTube.
Another thing to mention when we're comparing TikTok and YouTube is obviously YouTube, we talked about the longer form content and creating that connection with your audience. And on TikTok, when it is those shorter videos, it is harder to establish an authority, create that really bond or real bond with your audience. And that definitely has to be a con.
On top of connection, I feel like there's also only so much you can communicate in that short form content. You might pop up all this really like important information, but maybe it doesn't sink in as well because it's not as well explained, or it might not make as much sense because it doesn't have the kind of full-bodied piece of content around
Or
it.
people don't just spend as much time absorbing it. Like imagine if
If when you're scrolling, it's just like
Yeah.
one out, one ear. So our final con for TikTok is the hate comments. Coming back to
Again.
that, I feel like TikTok's particularly bad because it's serving up your video to such a wide audience. I know I was shocked by Ellen's
I got
Jimny
some
video.
really nasty comments. My Jimny video, also my video that I talked about charging based on your talent, not someone else's budget. It was just people coming back and being like, "You're not talented." I was like, "Bro,
I did not see that.
chill out." Yeah.
But I guess coming back to this video and why we made it today, we kind of wanted to take you through the pros and cons, because I feel like there's pros and cons for every platform out there, and a lot of it comes back to why you want to do it. Why are you creating? Do you want a creative outlet? You love making videos, or you want a creative outlet? You love taking photos. Being really clear on why you're choosing a platform or what you're wanting to make and provide value on a platform is really important to start off with.
So in conclusion, is there a winner? For us, I think it's probably YouTube.
It's probably really clear we talked about it. Maybe you noticed, but we've been putting a lot more effort into YouTube this year. We've done a bit more of a rebrand. We're doing 2 videos a week, and that's because we see the value in YouTube as a platform. We're trying to go all in, guys.
So make sure you support. And as Tara mentioned, we're going to be uploading twice a week, or we are uploading twice a week. So make sure you're subscribed to see all of the fashion, careers, and business videos that we have for you.
So we hope you enjoyed this overview, blog versus YouTube versus TikTok.
Pew, pew, pew.
Anyway, we're gonna leave it there, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye.